The Hunter Biden plea deal provoked anger on Capitol Hill and on the campaign trail. Take a listen.
It is unacceptable and un-American to weaponize the Department of Justice against your political opponents. It's just wrong.
I, like tens of millions of Americans, is concerned, as I said on that prior program, about a two-tiered system of justice, like one set of rules for Republicans and one set of rules for Democrats.
Joining me now is New Hampshire Republican Governor Chris Sununu, who declined a 2024 presidential run. Nice to see you here in Washington. You just heard that. You've heard lots of other Republicans since the news of the Hunter Biden plea deal broke yesterday, talking about the two-tiered system and so on and so forth. But my question for you is, since your whole strategy now when it comes to 2024 is to make sure that Donald Trump is not the Republican nominee, isn't that messaging playing right into his hands?
I think that a lot of the media messaging is. I don't think the
well, it's
messaging.
not the media. We're playing what they're saying.
Well, the message is he can't win, right? It's not a personal thing between me and former President Trump or Chris Christie. He can't close the deal in November of 24. He's going to lose to Joe Biden, and more importantly, he cost us seats, right? So we saw in 22, him and his message and his candidates cost us, U.S. Senate seats. They cost us governor seats. They cost us school board seats all the way down because you have Republicans that have to almost explain why they might be supportive of the president. We got to move forward. We just got to move on. I think the Republican Party has an awesome opportunity to say we're about going forward. We're not about relitigating the past and getting rid of this drama. We're talking about a plea deal. Anytime we talk about a politician or a politician's family and the word deal comes up, all of America goes, ugh, really? They get a deal, but we don't get a deal? So whether it's Hunter Biden, whether it's an indictment with Trump, whether it's the allegations of bribery against the current president, we're all just tired of the drama. And anytime you add deal into the mix...
So Republicans should just stop talking about it. Is that what you're saying?
About Trump?
No, about the Hunter Biden plea deal.
Well, no, look, I think America is frustrated with it. I don't think you necessarily stop talking about it other than to say, what are you about? If you want to be president, you're not going to get elected president because you're bashing on the Hunter Biden deal, so to say. You have to be president because you're going to bring fiscal responsibility. You're going to secure the border. You're going to do all these things that Republicans, I think, have a great record in doing. But you're not going to get it by, again, just talking about politics and relitigating. You don't win by being against the other person. You win by being for something and inspirational and getting folks to galvanize. And none of these candidates seem to be galvanizing anyone on their team. They don't seem to understand how to do that.
Well, on that note, I know one of your big arguments, as I said, is that you don't believe Donald Trump, if he's the nominee, can win in November, in large part because he can't necessarily reach independence. I just want to show you and our viewers part of the new CNN poll from yesterday. 27% of Republicans think Trump should end his campaign in light of his indictment. That number is 62% when it comes to independence, the voters that
He's done.
you need.
You can't win. And that 60, look, the trouble that former President Trump has in November is no one's on the fence about him, right? Either he's such a known political commodity, either you'd vote for him or you wouldn't. There's very few actual undecided. So when 62% of independents say, not only are we not going to vote for you, but you need to get out now, that's a done deal for folks. And that's exactly what happened in 2022. It's exactly what happened in 2020. I don't think he's going to lose because I just think he might lose in November. He's a proven loser with a proven losing message, with proven losing candidates. Why, as Republicans, are we going to do this a third time or fourth time and think it's going to turn out better this time? It's going to be the same story. When we have other really great candidates out there, let's give them a shot. Let's get them on the debate stage, galvanize behind one of them. And I think if it's a one-on-one, Trump versus one other candidate, he loses.
Okay, so I want to ask you about that as well, because I want to put back up the general poll number from yesterday with the sort of top line from all of the candidates who are in the race. You see that Trump went down a bit, but he's still way ahead of the person who's closest behind him, DeSantis 26, Pence 9, and so on and so forth. Your whole thing is getting behind one of the opponents to Donald Trump.
I think everyone does. It needs to find one. Yeah.
When?
Oh, there's plenty of time. We haven't gotten the debates yet, right? So you're going to have probably 6, 7, 8, 9 debates.
You don't think by
Christmas.
then it's going to be too late?
No, not necessarily. Before Iowa, look, most voters actually don't make up their mind till about 3 weeks, really who they're going to vote for, till about 3 weeks before the election. New Hampshire and Iowa, retail states like that. They still have to hit the ground. They still have to have their moments. I remind folks, it was a time ago, but no one knew who Herman Cain was. He came out with 999, surged to the top of the polls. Everyone thought Rick Perry could win. He had a tough moment on the debate stage. It fell apart. Marco Rubio was surging. Chris Christie took him apart. So there's a lot of game to play out here.
You have a super PAC live free or die. Are you going to use that at all to run ads against Donald Trump in New Hampshire and beyond?
No. Look, my message is going nationally is trying to get more independents onto the team. Understand that we're not just defined by the presidential candidate if it were to be Trump on the top of the ticket. More young people, more young voters, suburban moms. These are the constituencies we have lost in droves, and which is why we don't hold the Senate anymore, which is why we don't have more governors anymore. So we're trying to get folks a little more inspired and more aspirational until the opportunities for bringing those real Republican values, not Donald Trump's baggage, but Republican values of fiscal discipline and local control, limited government, individual responsibility. You come first, not the government. Those are great things that independents want to galvanize, but we need candidates to carry it.
So you are the sitting governor of New Hampshire, which for Republicans is still the first in the nation primary state, but Democrats have said no, they're going to go to South
Well, we're
Carolina.
holding it, whether they
okay,
like it
so
or
that's
not.
my question. What will be the sort of consequence of that? Because the DNC, Democrats of Joe Biden, has said that he's not going to campaign there, and so he won't see that as legit. I mean, would you
Who cares?
effectively?
Look, New Hampshire's a place where it doesn't matter if you have name ID or money. You come, you earn it on the
Wouldn't
campaign
it
trail.
kind
A lot
of
of
be a
earned
sham
media.
primary?
No, it just means they wouldn't sit our delegates. Doesn't matter. The value you get. Look, RFK Jr., right, who's a pretty interesting character to say the least. I've sat with him. He seems like a nice guy. He's already polling at 25-30% in certain polls in New Hampshire, and he's barely even started. So I think a lot of folks are realizing, wait a minute, I can use New Hampshire as a launching ground to challenge a sitting Democrat president that most Democrats don't think should run for a second term anyway. So I just think it's an open door. We're going to have ours first, whether they like it or not. Don't even know if the South Carolina primary is going to happen. They didn't hold one for Trump when he was an incumbent. They probably won't hold one for Biden. So there's just going to be a lot of political momentum behind whoever wants to challenge the current president through New Hampshire.
New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, thank you so much.
Thank you.